All right, everybody, welcome back to Like a G70. Hope y'all are well. This is kind of my first longer form video in a minute. It's been almost a year, I suppose 9 months. So thank you guys for all the support on that reality of living with a G70 as a 21-year-old. If you've not seen that, I'll link that to this video. But this is kind of just like a almost 1 year review. I've had the car for about 11 months. So yeah, I really just want to kind of go over it, kind of pros and cons, but just more things I've noticed based on the way I live as a now 22-year-old. So I'm, a year older, a little more experience with the car in general back there. So yeah, kind of just want to take you through that and see where it goes based on that. But yeah, let's get right into it. All right, y'all. So one thing that I didn't really mention in the first video of the reality of living with the Genesis is that the garage door openers are very odd. So as you can see here, we have them right here, which is fine and dandy, and that's great. They're right here, 1, 2, 3, which is great. So they're programmed basically into the car, but the problem is you can't open any garages unless the car is on. So for example, I'll show them here. I press it, nothing happens in the garage. Press another one, same thing. So that kind of sucks, to be honest, but like it's not that big of a deal. Obviously you just have to turn on the car and deal with that carbon monoxide for a few seconds. But yeah, just a little tidbit there that I don't love. Another thing I've noticed living with the Genesis is I am a huge Gatorade water bottle guy, bring it everywhere. So for me in the Malibu that I used to be able to put it in the side pocket down below. Unfortunately, I'm not able to do that now, which does kind of suck. And I mean, it's not the end of the world. Like at the end of the day, I can get through it. The cup holders that are in the middle are obviously fine and all that, but I have noticed that it's hard to get it in the side one, which, if you have like a bunch of other stuff, and, I have, like this garbage can too that I put in the middle console. So kind of full usually, but yeah, again, just a small thing. Now, the other thing is we're in the interior of the car that I do want to kind of, again, the reality of just living as a person in general. You're going to eat in the car. I eat in the car, not a lot, but enough. So obviously, like the biggest thing that I've noticed, and I think, again, I did mention this in another video, there's just a lot of crumbs. Like obviously, these seats have like the venting and the heating. So there's little holes in the seats that unfortunately stuff just gets in those, little spots and holes, and the food is really hard to get out. You kind of have to use like a pen or like a mechanical pencil to get the little pieces out, which kind of sucks. Again, not a huge deal, but something I've definitely noticed having this car. Now, just the tint, you can kind of see behind me, just like based on this difference right here, and then like in the back too. The tint on the back windows and the rear window is just so dark. And I had a tough time right when I got the car, like getting used to it and all that. But I can say now, about a year later, I'm pretty used to it. Like it's not too big of a deal for me anymore. So that's kind of nice. But yeah, like it definitely took some getting used to, especially since the Malibu, which I had before this, had 0. So kind of that 0 to 100 switch took a little bit of adjusting, but here we are a year later or so, and we're pretty good with it now. Now, another thing I do want to talk about is the whole CarPlay thing. Again, this car does not have wireless CarPlay, which I think is absurd as a 2021 model, especially a somewhat luxury vehicle as this is. So what I ended up doing a few months ago is I got the Bluetooth adapter that you can actually plug into the USB, which I'll show here real quick. One thing I will say about that is it's not good. It was about $50. I thought it'd be a decent investment, but to be honest with you, like that thing is so off and on. Like it'll be fine for a few days. Phone will connect right away. It'll pop up on the screen, but other days it'll go in and out 4 or 5 times in like a 15-minute car ride. Like that's absurd to me. You're paying that kind of money for this. So honestly, sometimes I just go back to the wired because I know that that's trustworthy. And honestly, it still charges my phone too, which is good. The Bluetooth adapter just drains your battery too, which is just a huge annoyance. But overall, it's not the end of the world. But I just think, like, again, that's kind of the reality of the world we live in today. Like, you want to have Bluetooth and wireless CarPlay, and to not have that just sucks, especially in a car like this. So just something to consider. Now, one thing I think I mentioned in a previous video, maybe the pros and cons video I did about a year ago, is that I am someone who travels with quite a bit of stuff, usually, whether it's, a hockey bag or a golf bag or things like that. And I actually got a nice speaker setup about 4 months ago, and it's been awesome. Like, I love it. I'm a huge subwoofer guy. But obviously with that, you know, the trunk space in this car is limited to begin with, so now it's even less, which kind of sucks. You know, I make do. I have to put the seat down, which isn't a huge deal, but other than that, like, it's been fine. Obviously, like, it's a squish to get some things in there, but overall, that's one thing, again, I just want to reiterate, is that if you're someone with like a somewhat active lifestyle like myself, it's going to be tough to kind of fit some of those things in there if you have like a speaker like me or things like that. So just something to keep in mind. But honestly, like, for me, I don't travel with a ton of stuff, so it doesn't make the end of the world difference. And another thing that comes with having a somewhat sports car is obviously the tires are going to get worn out. When I just brought it in for service about a month ago, they did say that I'd probably have to get them replaced here pretty soon, which does suck, and it's going to be definitely an expense I don't want to look at and think about. But honestly, the total estimate living in Minnesota that they gave me was about $1,800 for the whole set, which is a lot for me, especially coming from the Malibu, where, you know, when I replaced those tires, it was like half that price. So obviously these are a little sportier tires, and that's what you need for a car like this. But honestly, we'll see. I mean, I'm gonna push that thing out as long as I can, because again, I do not want to spend that kind of money ever, especially on tires though. And so yeah, again, reality of driving at 15,000 miles within 11 months, and that's what you get, I guess. Now, I believe I went over this in another video as well, but if you remember, some of the wheels when I got it, the rims had curb rash, and this one's one of the worst. You can see it all the way over here. There's some on the bottom and up here and even here too. These wheels just get really dirty in general pretty easily, but obviously I've wanted to replace it, you know, since I got it. But again, one of these rims is $1,500, right? I don't have that kind of money right now, like, especially 22, you know, entering the workforce and stuff like that. So it's been tough. Definitely something I want to look to eventually get. The reality of owning a car in general, but this one too, just with the blue coloring, scratches are going to be easily seen. So you can kind of see right here, I got side swiped slightly a while ago. I didn't even notice it because it was in the winter, so this car was just full of salt and crap. And then I washed it off in like February, and I saw it and I was like, come on, like, really? So that kind of sucks. You know, there's obviously other little nicks and scratches on it, but that's just something that, again, comes with the reality of living with, you know, cars you care about and really nice cars, that if you drive them around every day, like, they're gonna get scratched. Doesn't matter the age or the car, like, they're gonna get scratched. People are gonna be dumb and park too close to you or open their door too far or whatever it might be. So that's just the reality of living with this car and every car that's, you know, kind of nice in general. And yeah, I mean, it sucks, but at the end of the day, like, life's life, and hopefully one day we can patch it up with some paint filler. But for now, I guess it's just a beauty mark, and the way I look at it is it adds a little character to the car. So probably the most annoying thing with inflation and all that is the gas, right? Right when I got this car, you know, I've always done premium and stuff, but it was still like, you know, $45 to get a full tank, you know, maybe somewhere in there, right? Now, 12-gallon tank this holds roughly is what I get on a, you know, empty tank, $60. Over $60 now. Premium is, you know, $5.10 here in Minnesota. It's just nuts, right? And again, that's the reality. Like, especially the last, you know, 6 months or so, I've tried not to drive, you know, as much as I can, just because those prices are just ridiculous. I'm paying, you know, $15 more per full tank, which is absurd to me. So yeah, I mean, it's been a break to the bank account. I knew it'd be a lot more than the Malibu anyway, with it being premium instead of 87, but this is just insane. I couldn't see this coming a year ago, so obviously it sucks, but here we are today. And again, the gas is just reality, right? Like, everyone has to pay for gas for their car. I guess not everybody if you have electric vehicles, but everybody with a good car has to pay for gas. And again, reality, whether you're 22 or 50, that's how it is. Now, as for the payments on this beast, as I discussed in the last video I had about it, the first reality video, the insurance is about $200 a month, so I've still been paying that every month. However, the big boy is coming in here. In June this month, we have the annual payment, which is about $3,600. I'm not exactly sure when that's going to be. I'll probably have to pay that in the next few weeks here by the end of the month for sure, but that's just what you get with owning this thing. You know, obviously it's kind of nice to have that annual payment, so I don't have to worry about it more than that, but that is coming in. That's going to be a huge chunk. So I've been trying to save this last year because I knew this was eventually coming, but yeah, that's coming up soon. And again, that's just part of the reality of living with it. Another thing I do want to mention that I did, as just the reality of being a 22-year-old who loves cars and loves the clean aesthetic of the cars. I didn't love the whole, you know, H-track over here, G70 over here. I didn't like all that lettering, so about a month ago I actually took it off. I'll put the before and after pictures up here so you can see what it looks like before and after. But yeah, I took those off. I didn't really like them, and now, I mean, just look at this thing. Like, it looks really clean, especially with my beautiful license plate here. So just a little something that I did that I really liked about it, and I think it just makes the car look a lot cleaner and just simpler, which, is kind of what I was going for, honestly. But yeah, one more thing I will say is obviously I took the license plate that was right here off a while ago, and the car just looks great, you know, with the plate in the front mirror, which I'll show here. But honestly, like, again, I would have never kept the car with that on it. I just thought it looked stupid and kind of just out of place, right? Like, it just made the car look clunky. So I do like it in the windshield, and we'll plan on keeping it there. All right, everybody, I'm in the passenger seat, but that'll pretty much do it. I mean, that's kind of, again, like the second reality after a year of living with this car as a 22-year-old, what it's kind of came to. Pros and cons, obviously, you know, the pricing has stayed the same, but gas is obviously so annoying right now. Oh my goodness. Anyway, yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if there's anything else you want me to kind of go over with the car or anything like that. As always, I appreciate your support on the first reality video. Again, if you haven't looked at that, check that out for sure. And the shorts and stuff, let me know if you guys got anything on that. But yeah, that'll kind of do it, and see you guys next time.